Hey fellow lazy gamers, it's Angry Turtle reporting results of another experiment. Honeyfast, that was intended to fix all the damage done during my staycation. You probably watched my video, Ice Cream Diet, that was about my staycations. This was a risk I was willing to take to have these 2 weeks of pleasure eating. I knew there will be some consequences and I described them all in there, and next goal was to fix it as fast as possible and in as easy way as it is possible. Is this the easiest way? I will let you know. Basically, couple reasons for that. I choose to use honey, and it is a local honey, that's the one I have. Pure English Summer Honey. I choose this one, the real pure English summer honey, because I have problem with hay fever during the summer season, when summer starts. And there are some stories saying that eating real honey from your region, your local honey, will or can help with those type of allergies. Unfortunately, I will not let you know if it did or not. I do plan to keep consuming small amount of honey for a longer period of time, probably all year, as next year I want to see if there will be improvement. But yeah, you will need to wait a year for these results, but you don't need to wait any longer for results of this particular experiment that I found super cool. But let's start from the heart rate this time. This is some super interesting data, and all you need for that is Apple Watch. And that's just a quick information about resting heart rate. That's something that your Apple Watch will record by itself, and I can access it from my health app. Then I can see that. Basically what it does, your resting heart rate is the average heartbeats per minute measured when you've been inactive or relaxed for several minutes. A lower resting heart rate typically indicates better heart health and cardiovascular fitness. You may be able to lower your resting heart rate over time by staying active, managing your weight, and reducing everyday stress. Resting heart rate does not include your heart rate while you are asleep and is validated for users over the age of 18. That's just a quick introduction what Apple actually say about the heart rate they are measuring with your watch. And now this is a data about my heart rate covering a little bit over a month of the period. And here we are starting from my heart rate being under 50 before the staycation. Then I was doing quick fast before the staycation, just 3 days before, to get ready for all the incoming ice creams. Then over the period of staycations, you can see the heart rate was consistently going up, hitting close to 70. That's high. That's really highest for me. That was like a year ago when I was obese. That was my resting heart rate. Then I did 1 to 3 days of just eating healthy, which already dropped the heart rate. And after that, honey fast started for 8 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can see I managed to drop it below 50. Then I started eating again, then it's fluctuating a little bit, but you can see it's the trend, it's staying somewhere in here. It will never be exactly the same every day, as stress, as it was listed, affect that. Your activity in the current day and what you eat in the current day will slightly affect it, but generally you can see it's not crazy jumps. It's staying in the range. Then that's the heart rate. It did fix it. My heart rate come back to where it was thanks to the honey fast. Now, more details about weight changes and how hard it was that everyone probably waiting for. My experience with honey fast and how much honey I actually ate. And here is all the data. And of course, I'm using kilograms, pounds, and on the same graph, calories consumed. Those are last 2 days of my staycation. Then 3 days after staycation with healthy food only, unlimited. It does look like unlimited. No, it was unlimited, but healthy food, low calorie density, high nutrient density. It's really hard to overeat. So naturally, the calories go down. And after that, the honey fast starts at honey consumption being equal to 20% of my calorie expenditure in the day, which is very low. It's around 600 calories. So mainly blue, so yeah, that's what we expect. It's mainly sugar inside the honey. There are some micronutrients, a little bit of protein, just a tiny sliver on the top. I was even surprised honey actually contains a little bit of protein, but it does. After doing more investigation, honey contains way more stuff than just sugar, which is a good thing. And now, my starting point, this number is the most important. 16 millimeter, that's my skin fold on my belly, measured on my belly, 16 millimeter. That's the amount of fat I'm carrying at the moment, at the end of staycation. That's way more than I started staycation with, as I started staycation being at 13 millimeters. Then the plan of the honey fast was to get back to the starting point. I didn't set a duration. I was planning to do it as long as it will take to get back to 13 millimeters, and it ends up being 8 days. And now how hard it was. First 3 days was super easy. I was like, it doesn't even feel like fast. Having a little bit of honey while drinking coffee, I was drinking black coffee and eating honey with a spoon slowly, was keeping me basically full, really fast and quite satisfied. It wasn't feeling like a fast at all. It was feeling like maybe a slight diet for the first 3 days. Day number 4, it started being a little bit harder, was more hungry, but still fine. Day 5, it's the moment when it was feeling like a regular fast. More like a regular fast, and it continued for day 6, 7, and 8. Therefore, after the first half, it started to be hard, but I was determined to get it done. And as well, after the fast, I did lose some strength, basically to the level of strength before the staycation. Then it's a little bit of a drop, but what would be expected. Like over a week of fasting, it will have a toll on your strength a little bit. And I decided to don't actually do as long ones anymore. If I will have another staycation, I will try to limit myself a little bit. I will still allow myself some pleasure from ice creams, but not as much. It's too much to fix. Like staycation was 16 days total. 8 days of fasting was required to fix it, which is a lot. And you can see that my weight when I started the fast was continuously going down. Like a total difference is 15 pounds. 15 pounds down from top to the bottom. Of course, as you are fasting, your glycogen is depleted, then some weight comes back up instantly when you start eating. And you can see that in here, jumping back up to like somewhere in between, then like 187.5 pounds in here. But if you look on the skin fold, it's 13 millimeters. It was 13 millimeters at day 8 for the first time. That's why I finished. I reached 13 millimeter. And after regaining this glycogen weight, it stays at 13 millimeter, which is like no fat regain by the following week. And eating quite normally, like around 3k calories. Only first day is always higher after the fast, as you are really hungry when you start eating. Then it was 4k calories, but surprisingly, because it was mostly healthy food, I think I had some alcohol for a dinner. This little bar, it's when I have some kind like a glass of wine or a beer, then that small amount of alcohol that I sometimes consume. And it's still way lower than last day of staycation when I was eating ice creams. And I was like day by day on so high calories, so easily, like crazy. How this food allows you to eat more and more and more and gain weight so fast. When healthy food, it's total different story. But now you have all the results. Was it worth making the honey fast? Or should I go for a regular one? I don't know. The first 3 days was super easy. Maybe I will do it in the future if I will need like a small quick fix. As 3 days on just honey, you don't worry about cooking, about anything, and you don't feel hungry, that's amazing. But that's limited to first 3 days. When regular fast, if I would do, the regular fast started being hard on day 2. Therefore you have, with this a little bit of honey, you have 2 extra days with really low effort fasting, but I know it is not a real fast as you have some sugar from the honey, but it's still really small amount. It's 20% of my calorie needs, then that's not much of the food. It's kind of opposite to bulletproof fasting on bulletproof coffee. You know, you have a little bit of fat, the similar amount of calories, like 20% of your calories from fat. To mimic full fasting, this is like on reverse. I still have sugar, then I have some glycogen for longer, and I can perform optimally for a little bit longer when losing weight rapidly, as you can see in here, from the first days and following days. And my fat from the belly was dropping too, quite consistently, like every 2 days by a millimeter. I think first one after 3 days, but yeah, that's what to expect from having such a surplus. That's all the data I have prepared for you. Let me know what you think about my honey fast experiment. The most important part for me was I was able to fix this extra weight. As one thing I'm sure about, I'm not going back to being obese anymore in my life. I don't want it. I don't want it. I feel the difference now, how it is when I keep my weight under control and I eat healthy versus how I feel when I allow myself to eat what tastes good but it's not healthy for a longer period of time. And I already made my mind in this topic. Now, I hope this video will be somehow helpful for you if you want to try like a honey fast. It's something new no one is actually doing, as I was not able to find much information what will happen if I try to do honey fast. Will it be harder? Will it be easier? Luckily, it was easier than doing regular fast for quick fix. Then that's the experience. Now I wish you all healthy life, healthy weight, if you are after it, with minimum effort. That's what we are striving for on Lazy Fit Gamer. And see you in the next one.